Boris Johnson has claimed that the NHS is receiving £34 billion, calling it the biggest spending increase in modern memory. That's wrong. £34 billion has been announced for the NHS for the next 5 years, but only if you don't account for inflation. And it's not the biggest spending increase ever over 5 years for the NHS either. If we account for inflation, the meaningful way to look at spending over time, there was a larger spending increase on health in England between 2004 and 2009. Jeremy Corbyn has said the UK could pay £500 million more each week for drugs after the Conservatives do a post-Brexit trade deal with the USA. This figure is extreme and unrealistic. A trade deal with the USA could well impact drug prices, but it hasn't been the case for other countries which have done trade deals with the US, like Australia. Labour's claims would mean the UK being prepared to accept a deal which would cost the NHS an extra £27 billion a year. That's a huge chunk, 19% of our public health spending. The Conservatives have claimed they are building 40 new hospitals. No completely new hospitals are being built. Money has been allocated to rebuild 6 existing hospitals by 2025. Up to 38 other hospitals will receive money to plan for upgrades between 2025 and 2030, but not to actually carry out any building work. Labour said its policies would save an average household £6,700 a year. This is not right. Almost all the savings come from 2 things: rail season tickets and childcare. But 40% of families in England don't pay anything for childcare. Only 5% of people use a train more than 3 times a week. A family with 2 rail season ticket holders spending £3,000 a year on childcare is not an average family. The Conservatives have claimed that everyone will have to pay £2,400 more in taxes if Labour carry out their policies. That's not right. You get around £3,000 if you divide Labour's proposed increase in public spending by the number of income taxpayers. But Labour plans to fund its spending increases through taxing businesses and higher earners. While experts have said this might not be possible, it's wrong to suggest every income taxpayer in the UK will fund every penny of Labour's additional spending and an equal amount. Labour have said that rat hairs in paprika and maggots in orange juice will be allowed in the UK after the Conservatives' post-Brexit trade deal with the USA. That's wrong. While the US has more relaxed food hygiene rules than the EU, that doesn't mean the USA allows rat hairs in paprika or maggots in orange juice. There are levels of contamination which the USA says leads to enforcement actions being taken, like recalling all the products. That doesn't mean enforcement action can't be taken against food which has lower levels of contamination.